Hey, hello everybody. Welcome and happy Wednesday. It is Live with Colorado Beef. We have a special guest tonight. We're always excited to have guests. I forgot to give you one of these as a backup. We're always excited to have guests in the studio kitchen tonight. And I will let Kate introduce herself and tell you what she does. But we have a really interesting and fun live for you tonight because we're talking about nutrition. And I will tell you, from a gentleman who used to think nutrition meant healthy, healthy meant boring, and no flavor, we're going to change all that for you today because we have a great sports nutrition game plan we're going to talk about. But I'm going to let Kate kick it off and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Thank you, Chef
I know
Jason.
who you are. But
I know you do, yes. Thank you, Chef Jason. I am Kate Schulz, the consulting dietitian for the Colorado Beef Council, and I am excited to be with you tonight, really to talk through the sports nutrition game plan and talk a little bit about burgers and how they tie in together. And so I can just smell how great these are smelling here. And so with that, I don't know if you want to talk about burgers first or
I
have
do.
me talk. Okay, let's talk about the burgers first, and then we'll
super quick, a couple
pivot.
housekeeping notes for you. A big thanks to our friends at the Colorado Beef Council for allowing us to be on here and go live for you. We always appreciate the opportunity to come into the airwaves and into your living rooms and hang out with you. And then a big thanks to our farmers and ranchers who support Colorado Beef Council and are out there freezing tonight, taking care of their critters and making sure that we have amazing beef for our fridges, freezers, and bellies. If you are looking for that amazing beef, head over to cobeef.com. That's the Colorado Beef Council website where you can find the beef locator map.
Absolutely.
To find all of the ranchers and producers here in Colorado that have beef ready for you. And this, I mean, it is the gift-giving season. It's time to give the gift of beef.
That is true. I
think
love that.
Perfect.
Yes.
Now, on our screen, you're also going to notice we have a QR code. So I'm going to let Kate talk about what that QR code is. And you heard right. We're talking about burgers and nutrition. And you may think, like, how is a burger nutritious? Well, excited to talk a lot about protein tonight, how protein fuels you, how it completes you. I have had a shift in my diet and consuming a lot of protein every day. And having a nutrition plan isn't so scary.
That is very true. And you look fabulous.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a huge commitment to your health, but I think you can attest to the fact that you're feeling better, you've got more energy, and really probably one of the things that you switched up was, like you said, tracking the amount of protein that you're getting every day. And so with that, you know, again, in the research that we have and the information that I like to share, I do like to encourage people and challenge people to look at new and different ways to get in protein and really think about how much they're consuming throughout the day. Research shows that consumers generally consume most of their protein in the evening, and there's a real opportunity to spread that protein out throughout the day more consistently. And there's so many positive health benefits because of that, including staying fuller longer, maybe not having the cravings that you would have. So I do encourage all of you to maybe look for ways, even though we're talking about burgers and those are more traditionally our lunch or our dinner items, look for ways to get about 25 to 30 grams of protein, breakfast, lunch, dinner, about 15 grams of protein at each snack. But the reason...
And that's, like, if you're saying 30 at breakfast, lunch, dinner, there's 90.
There's 90.
And then if you're thinking 15 at each snack, that's 100, that's another 30. So 30, 120. And that's amazing. The biggest thing I think people would be blown away by is when you crave sweets and sugars and carbs and all that, you're not craving what fuels you. You're not craving the protein, which is kind of what sustains you and satiates you. And it's weird. We were on vacation last week and I was off my routine where I eat probably 6 times a day.
It's easy to do that in Hawaii.
Totally. We didn't have to say where I was, but thank you. Yes.
Sorry.
So it's interesting that I craved protein. I literally was like, oh, I need protein. And that shift from thinking that nutrition means healthy and healthy means tasteless and flavorless, it's not. Nutrition means balance.
Nutrition means balance. And I think oftentimes when we're talking about some of these very basic things, sometimes people feel like it needs to be hard, and it doesn't need to be hard. And so I think in choosing, today we chose a burger recipe for a lot of different reasons. We really do want to tie in the Sports Nutrition Game Plan. This is a recipe that is found on the Sports Nutrition Game Plan, but also recognizing that burgers are incredibly versatile. They're a crowd pleaser. So, there's a lot of opportunity not only when you go out to choose burgers, but this was something that you whipped up very easily.
Yeah.
So, using ingredients that you either probably have at home or can easily get at the grocery store. And so with that, you chose a 93.7.
I did.
Which, again, we were talking a little bit about if you remove some of the fat, you do get used to the different taste profile. But even with that, there's opportunities to add the cheese if you want.
Fat.
To add a little bit more fat. Some people don't like a cheeseburger. My dad,
And that's why I left. That's why I left that one.
One of them there.
Uncheesed.
But the other opportunity with burgers is just how versatile it can get and really fit the needs of whomever. So you can have a bun if you want.
Yeah.
You can wrap it in a leaf of lettuce if you want.
Yep.
You can add cheese. It also is a wonderful opportunity to get in a lot of additional vegetables. And I think that's one of the things that I really like to talk about beef in a way of how it can be used as a vehicle to get more fruits and vegetables and get really creative. Research has shown and information has shown that burgers in particular are the #1 source of most Americans for the amount of protein, protein, fiber, calcium, and then potassium. And with that too, it's also the #3 source of vegetables because people can add a tomato slice or lettuce or onions. We also have some really great information where, you can get super creative in adding additional fruits, which maybe people don't think about that, right? But there's that kind of sweet and savory opportunity with that. And so it was not only talking about just the versatility of burgers and how they can be such a great source of nutrients, but then also tying it into the sports nutrition game.
Yeah. And burger salads, it's like one of my favorite things. So I'll get like a salad kit and mix it and lightly dress it and put 1 or 2 burgers on there depending on how much protein I need or how big the burger is. If it's a 3 ounce, 4 ounce, 5 ounce, 8 ounce. And having a burger salad is delicious because you can dress it less.
That's true.
You get some of the flavor of the burger into that salad, and I have broccoli in there, I have cauliflower, quite a few different things as well. Hey, on the screen, I put that QR code on, which I'm super happy it worked because it's the first time I've ever done it. So I'm excited that it's there.
Thank you for
And
adding
let's
that.
tell our viewers what the QR code will do when they scan that.
Yes, so I do encourage you to scan the QR code for the Sports Nutrition Game Plan. And let me just take some time to walk through that a little bit. So the Colorado Beef Council has partnered with the Colorado High School Activities Association to really promote this program. It's specifically geared for high school athletes, but it has very, very valuable information for really the entire family. This is a resource that was created and funded by the Texas Beef Council.
We're doing a little collab.
So to be completely honest and fair, they put all of the manpower and all of the
So
funding into it.
We're borrowing it.
They were gracious to let us borrow it.
Lent it to us.
So they were wonderful to essentially see the need for this in regards to high school athletes and then create this resource that they have been able to extend out to every state beef council for its use. So with that, if you do scan the QR code, you will be directed to beef-loving Texans. So we want you to know that that is where it should be going. But again, with that, it is a collaboration, it is a partnership with the Texas Beef Council and the Colorado High School Activities Association. Once you scan that, you will be asked to register for the program. Yes, absolutely. So register for the program. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you just a couple of questions. Your name, to create a password, and then it's going to ask you your ISD, which is just the independent school district. It's not required, but I do like to highlight that if people are like, I don't know what the ISD is. And then also if you're a parent, a coach, an athletic director, a trainer, it's an absolutely free resource, which is amazing. I've worked as a dietitian for nearly 20 years, I guess over 20 years. Sports nutrition is
started when
definitely.
you were like 10.
I did. I was a child prodigy.
You were a prodigy.
I was
Absolutely.
a child prodigy. But with this is probably one of the best, all-encompassing, well-done sports nutrition programs that is available for free.
Cool.
And so again, we are partnering with CHASA to be able to showcase this to high schools, to athletic directors, coaches. But with that, one of the things that is so great about this resource is that it's web-based. So it is accessible to anybody and everybody, and it's done so well that they have thought through everything. So in Colorado, we're in the Front Range, but there are a lot of rural areas, and so with that, teams may be driving for hours to play or compete against one another.
Yep.
You may only have a convenience store to choose foods from. They have a whole guide that says, hey, if you only have a convenience store,
pick this, not that,
pick this,
right?
not
Yeah,
that.
that's awesome.
Same thing with like fast food, right? You might be in an area where you only have a fast food restaurant. So she really does a great job. I have to give credit not only to the Texas Beef Council, but to Amy Goodson, who is a fellow dietitian, who really thought through everything. There are fueling schedules. So if you have practices twice a day, what should you be eating before your practice? What should you be eating after your practice? And then as parents, there's resources for parents. There's resources for booster clubs. I mean, everything you can think of, they have kind of come up with a solution.
And I love this, and it's super timely, and the burger was timely, and when you sent it to me, I was like, this is so perfect, because we have student athletes who are at home. They're on break.
I know.
Right?
Absolutely.
They're on break. They're at home, and we don't want them to just like go off plan. They want to stay on their plan, because I'm learning if I go off plan, it's just crazy. Like, it affects everything. It affects my mental stability. It affects like my overall energy level. So this is great, because now we have a super nutritious, fantastic recipe.
So there are also,
for their student athletes.
There are also a ton of recipes. And so this was one that we specifically chose. And we hadn't done a burger.
We have not, which is weird. We've done everything else. Right.
And it is one of those. I think we try to get, really creative, but we know people love burgers.
Yep.
It's easy, again, for people to prepare. They're great even left over. They're great on a salad.
They're great on a salad.
All of those things. And so it was one of those where I wanted to be able to tie in something. Also, we're really busy this time of year.
We are.
So this is something that, you don't have to plan too far ahead of time. You can easily throw it on the grill, put it in the oven, broil it if you need to. But there's just a real opportunity here, again, to build it however you want to. Again, use the things that you would like, but also I encourage you to get creative. So on beefitswhatsfordinner.com, there is a video that actually talks about using like slices of pineapple as your bun. With a little avocado, maybe, for some healthy fat, rather than a traditional bun. So there's just a lot of
I'm down with the pineapple for sure. A little Hawaiian
A little
style.
Hawaiian. I threw that in there.
I appreciate that.
I threw that in there. But, I do encourage you, again, if you're a parent, if you're a student athlete, if you're just wanting additional information on nutrition for yourself.
Scan the QR code.
Scan the QR code. Again, it can be found on our website, so www.cobeef.com. It's in the call-out section on the bottom. We also will be creating a landing page with additional information. But, we know oftentimes that people are kind of inundated with nutrition information all the time through print media, through social media. And this is just a real opportunity to have something that is available that is based on sound science, really does a great job of balancing everything. So though it was a project really funded by the Texas Beef Council, it's incredibly well balanced. So again, really being able to focus on the type of protein and the amount of protein that you need, but also taking into consideration hydration, fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, rest, right?
And hydration is huge.
Hydration is huge.
I mean, I think I track 14 glasses of water a day. Or more, because that's important to keep you full and to keep your body moving as it's supposed to. And what I love about this recipe too, we went 93.7, which I don't want anybody to think that that's not good. That's absolutely delicious.
Oh, yes.
And actually, the cool thing about that is it makes that beef flavor stand out more, makes it shine. You get more of that minerally earth, like protein, iron, like you get that just well-rounded flavor. And I'm not so concerned about having 20% fat, which we know as we cook it, we're going to wash a little bit of that fat off. But then you could pick whatever bun. I chose a pretzel bun. You could pick
the pretzel bun.
I know,
smells
right?
So good.
Great. And I toasted them because you have to have toasted.
So good.
You could go gluten-free.
Yes.
There are now some great products out made with like cassava flour and coconut flour, whether it's buns, chips, tortillas.
Absolutely.
I've been kind of venturing that way too, just trying some different things to see how they taste, because that didn't start off being tasty, but now it's become super tasty with some new things.
Your palate kind of adapts.
You can adapt this recipe, which is always nice. If you want to add a little more fat, think about cheese. Cheese added some fat. You could add bacon.
Absolutely.
A strip or two of bacon. You're getting a little protein. You're obviously getting some salt, some sugar, those types of things. But this is cool. And then barbecue, I did baste them with a little barbecue sauce. I left that one plain just to show you, like, if you don't want it, you don't have to.
Absolutely.
You could save that, little bit of sugar for whatever you want. Or if you're doing paleo, you could do a paleo dressing or a sauce or something of the sort. But to think like you are having a nutritious meal is pretty solid.
Yeah, and I think, oftentimes we just think of burgers as sometimes being indulgent, and they can be, but they don't have to be. And so I think there's a real opportunity at home when you are cooking your own. You have control over the type of ground beef that you're choosing, whether or not you're adding cheese, adding additional fruits and vegetables. And again, just recognizing that burgers and sandwiches really do provide they're a source of so many nutrients for individuals. I thought that was so fascinating, but you think about it. They're convenient. How easy is it to grab a burger or grab a sandwich? And so there's a real opportunity there to just have fun with it and really make it as nutritious as possible.
So I make content for a living as one of my side hustle jobs. Yes. And the other day I did a video, we posted a video, and I did the accoutrement, the toppings on the bottom of the burger. Oh. I put the burger on top and then the top bun.
Oh, I want to see that built
And the comments were interesting.
Yes.
Because people were like, what are you doing? All of your vegetables are going to be warm. And I was like, as opposed to all the vegetables on top, making my burger cold.
Yeah.
And I said the reason I did is I wanted to bite into a warm burger and get a nice crunch at the bottom.
Oh, I love that.
So kind of a different way to think about that, but it almost switches it around a little bit and makes it something that's adventurous and fun because all of a sudden you're like, well, that's a different way of doing it. So
no, I love that.
I'm thinking if we build this guy like this, we'll put our lettuce down, we'll put a slice of tomato, we'll get some, and I picked red onion. I love red onion. I think it's got a nice, good flavor to it. Got a little spice or a little snap to it. You can throw a little bit of red onion on there. Pickles, if you want pickles, you could do one or two. Let's say you're like, I want something sweet. You could do a bread and butter pickle.
Absolutely.
The cool thing about a nutrition plan, we've said it a million times, it doesn't mean what you don't have to have. It just means how you balance your eating.
And it doesn't have to be hard. And it doesn't have to be expensive. And you don't have to be miserable.
Right.
That's
you can the best
still,
thing.
You
don't
can
have to be
still
miserable.
Enjoy all of these things that you want to, that your family is enjoying. That's awesome. I'd never thought of that.
This is a nutritious, healthful 30 grams of protein, 30 grams of protein?
So as a traditional rule, a 3-ounce serving provides about 25 grams of protein. So you've got a little bit of protein in the cheese as well. And then right there alone, you've got, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle. So, 3-4 servings of vegetable.
Yeah.
Pretzel bun, but you could have definitely done a whole grain bun. But also this is a great size bun. So I think that's the other thing. There's a lot of opportunity as well to choose, if you want to do a slider bun. Not that there's anything wrong with a huge, but oftentimes like my burgers that I make at home kind of get drowned in that huge bun. So again, just being mindful of some of these different things.
I've seen Kaiser buns or big brioche buns for burgers come in at about 300 calories or close to, and then you switch to something like a smaller pretzel bun, it's like 190 calories. So you're shaving some calories, you're not cheating yourself out of anything.
No.
And imagine, based on your nutrition plan, maybe you need, I think I'm at about, what did I say? I was at 130 grams of protein already today.
Yeah.
And usually I have a nighttime snack. I have like a protein yogurt and an apple. So I'll probably get 145 grams today. But if you think about it, if I'm not an athlete, but if I was and playing football and stuff, I might have two. I might need two of those.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm looking at that one thinking I could eat that one and I'd probably be done.
Right. But you're not no offense. You're not a young high school athlete. I know you're like just out of college.
Yeah.
Just out of college.
Out of college.
Yeah, fresh out of college athlete. But no, so anyway, I think also just providing tips and tricks, meal plans that not only could help parents, but also, coaches or again, booster clubs.
So if I go into the Sports Nutrition Gameplan, are there sample meal plans?
Yes, there are. So you do have to go and you do have to register. And then I think it'll take a little bit of time just for them to, accept your registration. But then once you do that, you have access to all of that. They also, are kind of constantly keeping an eye on things. And we want to hear from you. things that you find useful, because that will only help us to continue to kind of update it and keep it fresh. But yeah, I mean, there's coach-specific resources, what it looks like in fueling an athlete's day.
I'm intrigued by that a lot.
Specific calorie plans. So if you're needing, 15, 18, 2,000, 2,200, 2,500 calorie plans, what does that look like, right? And just kind of giving an overview. Again, I don't ever encourage anybody to be like, oh my gosh, I've got to follow this, but it gives you ideas to be like, how much protein should I be consuming? How many carbohydrates should I be consuming? How much fat should I be consuming? And also just taking into fact the consideration of hydration, making sure that you're hydrating properly, the opportunity to be able to do that. We know that there's really no better recovery drink than chocolate milk. So even though we're the Beef Council, we've got, our friends at dairy, so love to be able to highlight chocolate milk as a great recovery drink. But really, I just get so excited about this as far as a resource that we have available really to utilize through our partnership with CHASA. They've been fantastic. I mean, every single school in Colorado, partners with CHASA for whatever, and it's activities. It's not just athletics. So that's the other thing I wanted to kind of highlight is that these are resources that also can be used for drill team or band. I mean, those are also very physically taxing things for high school. For high school students. So we want to make sure that if you have a child, even drama. I mean, think about the amount of times that you are rehearsing and you probably have long days of being able to prepare for that. So just really encouraging at this very pivotal age of being a high school student, really incorporating some of those good nutrition foundations that will carry you throughout life.
The cool thing about that plan, I'm doing like a weight loss app, and the cool thing about it is it kind of moves with me. So if I have a day like today where I've been a little more sedentary because I'm doing a lot of office work today, it tracks my steps and movements through my watch and stuff like that. And then it will transition tomorrow's protein needs and things based on how much activity I got today. And the cool thing about that plan is let's say your student's home now and you're like, what? They're home. It's rest time. So you can go there and get a plan for rest time. But then all of a sudden, wait a minute, the first week back at school, they're in competition again or games. You could have the week before that, getting them loaded up and prepped and meal and fed to fuel them for that.
Absolutely.
And it's been really helpful seeing how these things ebb and flow. And I don't know why I never paid attention to it earlier in life, but it's very interesting now because I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
That's wonderful. And that's how it should be.
Yeah, right.
That's how it should be.
And it's funny because, I worked in a school district with a dietitian, and Kasia and I went back and forth all the time about what was the definition of healthy. And I was like, then I got to leave out X, Y, Z. You don't.
No, you don't have to leave things out.
I mean, if I ate a burger like that, if anybody ate a burger like that, what would you miss?
I was going to say, you're going to be satisfied. And again, it's just, it's great. And that is a very
giant burger.
That's a giant burger.
Like, I'm not missing anything.
You're not missing anything.
No, I'm gonna wrap it up and put it in my pocket and take it home.
No. So
Very cool.
I do get really excited talking about the Sports Nutrition Game Plan. I don't know if my team and my board, they're probably tired of hearing me talk about it, but it's really just something that I love to be able to bring to the entire state of Colorado. Again, if you're an athletic director that's interested, if you're a sports and conditioning coach, a parent, just a student, everything is really geared for high school athletes, and it's just, again, so well done, so all-encompassing, and it's free. It's absolutely free.
Sign up for it. Scan the QR code. Sign up for it. Head over and grab some recipes and content. They're going to have great recipes there. You can always go to beefitswhatsfordinner.com. And the great thing about beefitswhatsfordinner.com is you can go into the search engine, type in nutrition plan, type in paleo, whatever you're trying to follow or transition to. You'll find those recipes on beefitswhatsfordinner.com. And a lot of recipes too. In general, just look for ways to change that. Yes, maybe that recipe says use 80-20 in your chili and you're like, I don't want to.
Right.
I would rather have a little bacon for some mouthfeel of like pork fat, and I want to lessen the beef to 93.7.
Absolutely.
Always ways to adjust and adapt. This recipe has a bunch of things on the bottom, from cook's tips to different ways you can change up your toppings and your accoutrements. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's literally limitless.
There's so many wonderful resources. Again, yes. So again, the Sports Nutrition Game Plan will take you to beef-loving Texans, which are just our friends at the Texas Beef Council. But a lot of the recipes that they featured in this are from beefitswhatsfordinner.com, which we then also have at cobeef.com as well. So I think one of the greatest things is we across the country, as beef councils, all work together. We have the same mission, we have the same goals, and that is to bring you, all of the resources that you need to have beef in really any type of healthy diet.
And we always talk about beef as part of an optimal diet.
Yes.
Right? You don't have to take it out. This whole metamorphosis of change has been interesting just because as you listen to your doctor and you talk to your doctor and you look at things, you'll hear them maybe point to, oh, you should have less of, but then you look at other things like sports nutrition plans and it shows you how to balance everything.
And I think one thing, and again, being the dietitian, I encourage people to eat beef of all kinds, but one of the things that I think we have a real opportunity for is to focus on the leaner cuts. And so 93.7 is a prime example of that. If you are at the grocery store and you are, wanting to look for round or loin in the cut name, it's really as easy as that. And that's a perfect thing. If you're looking for leaner cuts and you found round or loin in the cut name, but you're not sure how to prepare it, go to beefitswhatsfordinner.com, type in, round or loin, cooking methods, cooking ideas, recipes, and it's going to give you a plethora of information.
And the fun thing about the word loin, right? Strip loin, AKA New York steak. So we were at dinner the other night and my daughter said, oh, what steak do I want? And she said, I don't want anything too fatty. And I said, well, you should get a New York strip. It's one of the 33 lean cuts of beef. And my wife and other daughter looked at me and they were like, who are you? But strip, loin, you can literally eat a New York strip steak and still have a lower fat, amazing flavored steak with a ridiculous amount of everything you need, from potassium to iron to minerals to
absolutely. And I love this conversation that we're having because sometimes I do feel like I'm going to be with Chef Jason and I'm the dietitian that's like wah wah.
Nope,
but
not
I
at all.
love your excitement for nutrition, and we always appreciate your support. And I think the thing is there's just such a plethora of resources, and so we encourage you to visit our website, www.cobeef.com. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com, and please do sign up for the Sports Nutrition Game Plan. I think it will be a very invaluable resource for you.
And don't forget, scan the QR code, sign up, share the QR code. Hey, share this video as well. We'll get everything dialed up here and made perfect so that you can share it out to all of your friends as well. Nutrition doesn't have to be tasteless and boring. That nutrition is pretty fantastic. That nutrition is also going to be our dinner. And you will find that you're not missing out on much because the more you can balance things, you're going to keep yourself fed all day long and you don't have those peaks and valleys. I call my peaks and valleys my elephant. And I either say I'm riding the elephant, or I'm being stomped on by the elephant.
And you do not want to be stomped on by the elephant.
You want to just keep the elephant happy and
right.
moving along all day long. And this is a great plan to keep you well fed. And don't forget, head over to cobeef.com. You can grab a bunch of recipes there as well. And then our beef locator map to find amazing Colorado beef from our ranchers and producers.
Yes.
And then beefitswhatsfordinner.com is a great website as well. You can find a multitude of resources there to help keep beef as a part of every lifestyle. And that also means beef for every budget too,
Absolutely.
Right? So,
and the one thing that I did want to highlight in both of the different online resources, we have a nutrition tab. So if you want to take a deeper dive into nutrition and specifically beef nutrition, I encourage you to visit the nutrition tab, both on beefitswhatsfordinner.com and then also on our website, cobeef.com.
cobeef.com.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys very much. We appreciate always hanging out with you. Hopefully you're kicked back, relaxed in your living room, getting ready to enjoy some wonderful burgers yourself. Don't forget, scan that QR code. Sign up for the Sports Nutrition Game Plan. We thank our friends at the Texas Beef Council for their pioneering.
Really, for really taking on this initiative and effort, and then being so kind and generous to extend it to other states. And then a huge thank you also to the Colorado High School Activities Association for partnering with us as well.
That's chassa, right?
Chassa. I know.
Chassa.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
I need to start just referring to them as chassa because
Chassa
every
sounds
time.
good, though. I mean,
Right.
I like it.
Thank you.
It's a good acronym. And then thank you so much to Kate for hanging out with us. We always love having guests, and it's great to partner together to show you that chefs and nutrition and dietitians and chefs and health and wellness can all work together.
Absolutely.
Which take care of it now as you're younger and lead into that healthy sports nutrition game plan throughout your whole life. So, all right, stay tuned because coming up next month, the month of January, we're going to keep just rolling through some amazing ways to maybe be a little healthier in the new year. So we'll come up with some more fun nutrition guided or oriented recipe for you in January. But again, showing you how much fun you can have, how much flavor you will get. And again, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Thank you again to all of our Colorado ranchers and producers. We appreciate your support and appreciate everything you do to raise those amazing critters and keep our bellies full. Don't forget, leave your questions and comments down in the comment section. We'll get back and engage with you and answer all your questions, guide you in the right way. I'm Chef Jason Morse from my friends at the Colorado Beef Council.
Kate Schulz, Colorado Beef Council. Thank you.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Happy
Have a great holiday season. See you in January.
Thank you. Yes, happy holidays. Happy New Year.